There are a few lakes up here where they added a drainage system to them. They're naturally occurring lakes. And I think this is one of them. There's not necessarily, I don't think Notch Lake is a reservoir. But I think they probably, like Camas Lake, when I was there, when I missed my turn at the Kuberant Basin, I noticed a valve to drain the lake. That's a naturally occurring lake. It's not a reservoir. I think Notch Lake might be the same. Now, a little bit of background here before we figure out what we're going to do next. My last video at Hope Lake was along the Notch Mountain Trail. That, in the sun right now, there we go, that is Notch Mountain right there. And on the other side of that is Hope Lake. This is the other side of the Notch, so if you hike through the Notch, you end up coming through that. It's very steep. So we're at the base of Notch Mountain, which is why this is called Notch Lake, and that's the Notch, which is why the word Notch is everywhere up here. So there you go, there's a little bit of background. When we were at Hope Lake, we're on the other side of this mountain, coming from the Crystal Lake trailhead. So those people have worked their way down to the shoreline. There are a lot of cliffs, there's a lot of area to explore. That kind of looks like a dam, but not really. I don't know, it looks like they reinforce things over there on the other side. So, here's what I'm thinking. This camping area is in two parts. It's in this part, and it's in that part, which is much more appealing. That is where I would camp, except, as we've seen, people coming to the lake head right down here towards this campsite. They might be like, oh, hey, a campsite, and set up camp and not realize I'm right there just a few feet away. Do I want to camp here where Murphy and I camped, or do I want to find something else? The thing that's making me think, yes, I want to camp here, is the view of the lake and the Notch. The lake is way down, way down. Watch that other Notch Lake video, guys. This is the same spot. I think my tent was back here. I don't think all this fire pit was here. I can't remember. It's been so many years. But I know our cooking area was right there. And I'm pretty sure Murphy's tent was here and mine was like there. And there wasn't an actual trail coming through here like there is right now that people have worn into the place. So, with the view of the Notch, the view of the lake, I think this is our spot, and I'm just going to take my chances with people cutting through here. Not much I can do about it. So we're going to camp here. You can see how it would be easy for people to cut through here. This is not the trail. But you can see how people would just wander through this clearing and come right through here. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to set up camp. And then we're going to explore. I'm not really hungry yet, so there's some exploring we can do by the lake. Just kind of check the area out. I'm used to this being a huge lake. It's just not that big. That shoreline is way down there. So this is the second time, my friends, that I have chosen a lake to backpack to and camp at, and changed my mind when I got there. So the last one was my Shepherd Lake video a few videos ago. I was going to camp at Fair Lake, changed my mind, kept going, camped at Shepherd Lake. This time it was supposed to be Clegg Lake. Noisy drunk people talking about NASCAR. Kept moving, found, no offense if you like NASCAR, that's just literally what they were talking about. It's just a fact. Anyway, just kept going until I came to not only Notch Lake, but the same campground Murphy and I camped in a few years ago. So it'll be a fun comparison when I get home and edit this video, and I can look at any pictures of video that I have of this, and you'll be able to see how beautiful this lagoon was when it was full. That was early summer, midsummer. It wasn't as late into the year as now. Feels good to bend my back. That's why I'm doing this. All right, I'll shut up. Time to set up camp and make this look like home for the night. Okay, all set up. Over here we have our closet with the puffer coat. Remembered it this time. Long sleeve flannel. My hat, my beanie. Of course, I've got my roll pack, as I repeat every time in these videos. Hygiene, fire kit, first aid. Hung my pack up there. It's empty, mostly, except for some stuff sacks. Here's the bedroom. We have very cushy accommodations. We have an air mattress by Outdoorsman Lab. We will be sleeping on top of that and a Snug Pack jungle blanket. And underneath, a 30-degree quilt from Outdoor Vitals. This is my pillow. I think that's made by Thermarest. Long johns, sleep socks, charging stuff, etc. So nice and roomy in there, as you can see. Lots of room. I really like this tent. Over here is our food prep area. We have my Mora bushcraft knife, my sharpener, 1000 lumen flashlight, sit pad. We have our food cooking area, some extra cooking supplies, towel, paracord to hang the bear bag, and of course we can't go on a trip, except for a couple trips ago, without our friend Bob Jr. Always happy to be here, as you can see. Last but not least, we have our water filtration system, and we need to do that first thing. I did not hike in with water except for a little bottle of water I got on the way up here. It's a little longer of a hike than I thought it would be, so I probably should have carried some water, but I'm okay. I'm all right. I don't feel, I mean, I need water, but I'm okay. But we have to hike down there and get water, and as you'll notice, the sun just disappeared behind Notch Mountain. So our water is going to come from the lake. There are no streams around here that I can hear or see or anything of the kind. And we will go hydrate very soon. Night is going to come quickly. And here's that little family that cut through here. They are way over on the other side of the lake. They are right in the, my fingers, big blurry blob. They're right there. Teeny tiny people. So it gives you an idea of the scale of the mountains and the size of the lake and how much bigger this lake should be. It should be all the way up here. This should all be full. But it's autumn. It's time for things to wrap up. Leaves are going to fall. Temperatures are going to drop. Snow's going to fall. Water levels will drop. Looks like there's a backpacker way over that way in some trees. But mostly, this is the quiet I was talking about. Compare Clegg Lake, the example I gave you, to this. I'm going to set the camera down. The fish are jumping. Now this water here is very muddy and shallow. I'm going to have to climb out on that rock to get our water. It's not very deep. Not going to be an easy task. Camp is right there in those trees. That's Reed's Peak, Bald Mountain that we came down around. And we are literally standing where the lake usually is. Isn't that beautiful? There are 3 liters of freshly filtered water. That lake is cold. My hands are frozen. Look how red from having to touch the water. Anyway, let's get back to camp. It's actually cooling off quite a bit. I may need my puffer coat soon, and maybe even my beanie. Summer is definitely coming to an end. Okay, we are back at camp, and I have used about half a liter of the water for drinking. Hung it in this tree. What I did is I just refilled my little bottle right there with drinking water. I'll probably put some flavored powdered drink mix in it from my MRE that I've got. And it looks like my battery's about to die, so I better change that. Okay, fresh battery. One thing I forgot to mention is I did bring the trail camera as usual. As usual, I don't think I'll catch much. Usually when I bring the trail camera, I set it up, I leave it out for the night. I might even hear things scurrying, running around, but I don't catch anything really significant. I catch myself moving around, getting up to go to the bathroom and things like that, but typically if I don't have anything, I just don't include it in the video. I don't see the point in showing you me getting in and out of the tent or setting up shots or whatever. It's kind of a shame we can't have a fire that's a good fire pit. It would be very comforting and soothing, and I'm sure there are people who will light them anyway. But I love this place too much to do that, so no fire. It's going to get darker and colder, and pretty soon we're just going to get in the tent and wrap up. It's one thing I don't like about autumn camping is okay, but winter camping, it gets dark at like 5 p.m. There's nothing really to do. It's freezing cold. All you can do is climb in your hammock or your tent and get warm and do whatever. But I did come prepared. It's a habit I've gotten into lately, is I download movies into my phone from Netflix, Amazon, whatever I've got, you know. And this time I've downloaded a movie off Netflix. Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston in, the heck was the name of that movie? Murder Mystery. It's one of the newer ones. I haven't seen it yet. I like some of Adam Sandler's movies. I like Jennifer Aniston. Believe it or not, I'm a huge Friends fan. I love that show. In fact, I subscribed to HBO Max just so I could watch Friends because they kicked them off of Netflix. I don't watch a lot of shows. I don't have a lot of time to. But when I'm up here, it's kind of nice to nestle into your tent, your hammock, whatever you have, and watch a movie. You know, I'm too far away for any kind of reception, so I download it ahead of time, and then I come up here and enjoy it. Right now, I think I'm just gonna have a drink. I'll show you what's in the food bag before we get the string set up for later when we can hang the bear bag. It's a food bag until I hang it, and then it's a bear bag. It's a feed bag. I don't know. Anyway, it's looking very beautiful out there. This camera really does a great job of compensating for darkness. I've noticed what I can't see with the naked eye. Right now it's okay. What you're seeing right now is what I'm seeing. But as it gets darker, it will compensate for that. And it will still look like this, even though to my naked eye, it's really pretty dark out there. So it's kind of a cool feature of this camera. I really like it. I'll have to do a review of this camera as well at some point in the future. People have asked me to do reviews, and I've agreed to it if it's something I use. I get emails all the time, usually from some Chinese knockoff company with terrible English trying to get me to do a video of their product. The most recent one, this is pretty funny, was some lady calling herself Monica something, but had horrible English, and there were obvious hints of Chinese connections there. So I don't think the Chinese name their kids Monica. It's more of a anyway. I got this email, and it was for a 6-pack of sponges to clean your face with, to like clean makeup off your face with. Nah, I think I'll pass. It starts out saying, "Oh, I love your YouTube channel. Thank you very much for the videos you make. Would you mind doing this? You'll get a free product and we'll get a free endorsement." Then I look at the product, I'm like, I don't remember doing a makeup video out in the wilderness. I don't know. I mean, I could see them sending it to someone like Catherine Gregory or Nicole Hikes a Lot. Somebody who may actually wear makeup in the mountains, but what you see is what you get, my friends. And that was the weirdest request I've had so far. Anyway, let's look at the food and see what we brought to munch on. Whoa, the log moved. All right, so this is an interesting collection of food here, because what it is a lot of MRE leftovers that I haven't eaten or used in any way, and I had so much of it that I decided to use that instead of bringing a brand new whole MRE. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, not completely, but mostly an MRE. I did bring some add-ons to go with it. If you saw my Hope Lake video, the last one I did, you'll see that I didn't eat much up there at all. I didn't eat much breakfast. I didn't eat much dinner. So anyway, here we have hot cocoa, 2 packets, one for tonight, one for breakfast. It will come in handy now because it's actually really cooled off. I would say right now it's in the upper 50s already. I did bring some ramen. That's always a good backup, a good comfort food. I don't know if I'll eat it. I've been carrying this with me now for several trips and haven't used it. A couple of applesauce packets. I like these. They're just super handy and super healthy. I think they're 100% fruit. I'm not big on sugar anymore like I used to be, but I brought a couple of MRE spoons because I have a tendency to misplace my spork. However, my spork is right over there on that rock. So I do have my spork. It's just nice to have those. They don't weigh much, so it's no big deal. Peanut butter that I keep carrying around and not using, that I probably will on this trip, I think. This is Italian breadsticks. Now this goes with the marinara meatballs that are in here that I didn't use on my Hope Lake trip. Maybe that will be dinner, maybe it won't, I'm not sure. This is some multigrain snack bread for the peanut butter. This is some more wheat snack bread this time, trans fat free. That one doesn't say it's trans fat free, but it actually is in the nutrition. I've got a First Strike energy bar. This is apple cinnamon flavor. Been carrying that one around for a while. It's time to use this stuff, you know. Grape jelly to go with the peanut butter. It feels very, problem with jelly instead of jam is it has the consistency of juice almost, right? It's been through a lot, so it's pretty liquidy. This is gonna like avalanche. All right, here's the beverage I was looking for, lemon lime beverage powder. This is basically Gatorade. I'm gonna dump it in this bottle. It says to add it to 12 ounces of water. This is what, 16.9 usually? Yeah, so it's fine. It just won't be overly strong. So I'm looking forward to that actually. Good hydration. And there goes my water. We'll just put it, you move, there you go. The problem is I'm sitting on the log I'm displaying this on, and if I rock too much, I'm gonna dump everything. Santa Fe rice and beans from one of the MREs I didn't use all of. That might be dinner. I don't know, that sounds pretty good. I'm starting to get hungry just talking about this food. Here are the marinara sauce with meatballs. These meatballs, I've had them before. They're kind of like the kind you get in a can of SpaghettiOs. They're little tiny meatballs. They're okay. They're not bad. Be good with that bread. Here's another peanut butter, this time chunky. The other one must be smooth. It doesn't say. I've got a little accessory pack I never opened. It's got gum, coffee creamer, sugar, toilet paper, a towelette. The usual stuff that they cram in these for MREs. And I've got my heating sleeve. And believe it or not, I've got a heating bag that I haven't used, so I can actually use it instead of putting these in a pot of boiling water. And last but not least, I have some garlic mashed potatoes, which also sound amazing. The biggest problem I'm facing here is what to have for dinner, what to narrow it down to. It is between 6:30 and 7 p.m. right now. I'm gonna leave this out because I know I'll use it for one of these things. Let's leave these out for now. Let's see. I don't need the peanut butter, the snacky stuff. Whoop. Leave the hot chocolate out. Let's see. Here's the Italian bread sticks in case I use them. Here are the two other main entrees in case I use them. Don't need the peanut butter. Don't need the spoons really. Here's our beverage that I'm about to make. Alright, so we'll put this away for breakfast. Breakfast is going to be one of these main entrees, by the way. As you'll notice, I didn't have a breakfast type food, so whatever I don't eat tonight, I will eat something in the morning. The question now is, between the three of these, Will it be mashed potatoes? These are pretty filling. Might do the job. Will it be marinara sauce with meatballs, or will it be Santa Fe rice and beans? Okay, guys, I'm looking for the heaviest thing because I'm kind of hungry. And this is heaviest so far. That's the meatballs. These are pretty light. I think I'll have the beans and rice for breakfast. And I will have the marinara with meatballs for dinner. And if I'm still hungry later, as a snack, I'll have the mashed potatoes. All this hiking really takes a lot of calories out of your system, and it's important to replenish them. So there's that. So it'll be the meatballs, the marinara, with the Italian breadsticks, some hot chocolate, some lemon lime powder, and we'll go from there. I do a lot of talking in my videos. If you're new here, I sit around camp and I BS about whatever comes to mind. So get used to it. Garbage bag, just so you know I'm cleaning up my trash. And now we're gonna heat up the marinara meatballs in the cooking sleeve. Here's everything we need. I always overfill these. They take so little water. Yeah, that looks right. There we go. I can hear it. It's heating up. I could hear you guys rooting for the marinara with meatballs. Choose the meatballs. Why would you eat mashed potatoes? There we go. There we go. My ears are getting a little bit cold, guys. It's time to warm up. The food will help. The puffer coat will help. Ultimately, I'm going to put on my thermals for the first time this year. I've brought them up here several times, but I haven't had to really use them. But there's a chilly breeze blowing right now. Always good to have a nice hat selection. I hike in the baseball cap. Then I get to camp and put on the buff for comfort, let my head breathe and cool off. Then when it gets cold, the old beanie, not just to keep my head warm now, but to keep my head warm when I'm asleep at night. I sleep really well with one of these on. There's a lot that I've learned over the years, little tips and tricks that they seem insignificant, but they actually have really helped make backpacking an enjoyable and comfortable experience. Something's in my pocket. Oh look, pine tree leavings. I don't know, little twigs from a pine tree from my last, probably Hope Lake. Alright. Now, if you're wondering, there have not been any bugs at all. It's finally cooled off enough. Not one mosquito. So this year bug season either wasn't that bad, or people were so focused on the pandemic and the virus and all that stuff, the riots, all the craziness that's been going on in the world. They've been so focused on that. Nobody's really complained about West Nile virus coming from mosquitoes, even meningitis, that kind of thing. Usually it makes the news every year, and I've heard very little. They've detected West Nile virus in mosquitoes, but I haven't heard of any cases of people actually getting it this year, which is surprising with how many people headed for the mountains when things went off the deep end. We got about 10 minutes until our MRE is ready. Then we're just going to chill. We're just going to hang out. We're going to pretend there's a fire in the fire pit. And I do want to walk around some. Most of our exploring will be in the morning because I don't know how much daylight we have left. Like I said, it's after 7 now. Sunset is probably 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. at the most. But with these big mountains here, of course, it's sooner. So, good thing I have a movie to kill some time with when I have to climb in because I can't have a fire. That's usually my TV. Oh, hey, a little squirrel cutting through my camp. Maybe we'll have some company tonight after all. Except they're not nocturnal. His tail's twitching. He's like, what are you talking about? Such language. All right.